Now this question, this is the most easiest question, at the same time the most hardest question which came in this year. That means if you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, you don't know it. Okay, that's it. You cannot guess this thing or find an answer for this thing. It is just what it is. Actually, the answer for this problem is all of them are correct. Okay, so let's try to go through some of the units, because of course you cannot obviously go through everything in a single go. This have to come to you slowly. So the first thing which they say is that 1000 liters 1000 liters is equal to 1 meter cube. This is actually an interesting concept. It basically means that if you take a box, okay, now let me draw it a little bit down. If you take a box of 1 meter, the length is 1 meter, the breadth is 1 meter, and the width is also 1 meter, and then you fill it completely with water. Okay, you are filling it completely with water, and then interestingly, that 1 meter cube, this is the volume of this thing is known as 1 meter cube, right? 1 into 1 into 1, this thing will have 1000 liters. And water's density of water is 1 kg per liter. So each kg will be 1 liters. So if there are 1000 liters, then the total weight which you have here will be density into volume. Okay, that is 1 kg into 1000, therefore 1000 kg. So in this 1 meter square, you should imagine what 1 meter square is. 1 meter square, 1 meter is almost half of a person's length. So if I have a box of 1 meter square, that can hold 1000 kgs. This is the reason why you people are saying that you should not make random swimming pools. Imagine if you have a balcony. If you have a balcony, uh, the balcony will be extending out of your home, right? So that can easily occupy a space which is more than 1 meter square. In fact, it will be 3 or 4 meter square. Imagine if you fill that entire thing water, you put a tarpaulin and fill it entirely with water, you feel like you got a temporary swimming pool. But this thing will be having 3000 to 4000 kgs in it, and that's a very dangerous thing, and this can collapse, it can break. So information like this can save lives. Anyway, 1000 liters is 1 meter square. Interestingly, from this thing we can also come to one more conclusion, that imagine I have a smaller box, let's say 10 centimeter, 10 into 10 into 10. So I have a small box of 10 centimeter. 10 centimeter will be as small as one small scale. Our scales are 15 centimeter, right? So this 10 centimeter could be held in your hand. This will give you 1000 centimeter cube. Okay, this 1000 centimeter cube is actually equal to 1 liters. You have to imagine how big this size is. 1000 centimeter cube is equal to 1 liter. Okay, in fact, I think you may be able to come to that conclusion also. Okay, I will go through the remaining things and then I will explain the way how to get inside units. Okay, now let's look at the second one. Here, 1 metric ton. 1 metric ton actually means 1000 kgs. So metric ton is actually 1000 kgs. At the same time, there is something known as 1 quintal. I don't know how to spell quintal. 1 quintal will mean 100 kg. 1 metric ton is 1000 kg. Ton is 1000 kg. Quintal is 100 kg. And 1 hectare. 1 hectare is 10,000 meter square. So let's understand what 1 hectare means. 1 hectare is equal to 10,000 meter square. And what is 10,000 meter square? 10,000 meter square means 100 meters into 100 meters. This is actually 10,000 meter square. So if you have a ground which is 100 meter in length and 100 meter in width, okay, you can imagine this by imagining the 100 meter running race. That length is 100 meter, and this area will be known as your 1 hectare. Okay, this is 1 hectare. If you multiply this thing, you are going to get 10,000 meter square. Now let's try to convert this meters. Let's try to convert units from one form to another. Of course, you don't have to waste time. You can stop it, because stuffs like this you have to take. You have to learn eventually. I am just going to tell this because what else will I do? I'll just try to tell you everything. What am I saying is that we know that 1,000 liters is equal to 1 meter cube. Now I want to convert this meter cube into centimeter cube. What will I do? 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. That we know. Okay, centi basically means 10 raised to -1. Okay, that -2. That is how this is coming. Now, if I want to convert this, 1 meter basically means meter. Meter is equal to 100 centimeter cube. I have to replace this value over here. So it is going to become 1 into 100 centimeter whole cube. Okay, this is going to happen. So what does that means? It means 1,000 liters is equal to 100 cube into centimeter cube, or 1,000 liters is equal to, this part will become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 centimeter cube. Now if you divide both the sides with 1,000, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 will be 1. You will get 1 liter is equal to 1,000 centimeter cube. See, this is the exact same thing which I told you before. 1 liter is equal to 1,000 centimeter cube. We can actually, if you know one unit, you can even convert and make other units. Now let me tell you some values which you have, which will help you. Okay, so the obvious one is that kilo basically means 10 cube. Kilo basically means 10 cube, and milli or small m means 10 raised to -3. That is why when someone says that 1 kilometer is equal to, simply write this 1 as it is, meter as it is. When you simply have to break this kilo basically means 1,000. So 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. Or on the contrary, 1 millimeter, if I want to break it, simply write this 1 and meter as it is. 1 and meter as it is. Milli basically means 1 by 1,000. See, 10 raised to -3 means 1 by 10 cube, and that is 1 by 1,000. So that will become, you can say that taking 1,000 to the other side, 1,000 millimeter is equal to 1 meter. Okay. Similarly, there is other terms, that is kilo is there, milli is there. What is this? Milli is there. We even have centi. Centi means 10 raised to -2. Or micro. Micro means 10 raised to -6. Nano means 10 raised to -9. And then it can even go further down. Pico means 10 raised to -12. Femto means 10 raised to -15. And atto, you don't have to remember all of this, okay? 10 raised to -18, and keeps on going. It can increase also. If it is increasing, we already know kilo. After kilo comes mega, which basically means 10 raised to 6. Then we have giga. Giga means 10 raised to, similar to gigabyte, 10 raised to 9. Then we have tera, that is 10 raised to 12. Then we have peta, exa. About that I have no idea, but that name is peta means 10 raised to 15. Exa means 10 raised to 18. Okay. Now there are other steps also. For example, we know that 1,000 millimeter is equal to 1 meter. We also know that 100 centimeter is equal to 1 meter, and 1 meter is actually 1 meter. And then we have Yeah, 100,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer, and it keeps on going. Then we also need to know other units of length. For example, one unit which we usually use is inch. Okay, inch is actually bigger than centimeter. 1 inch basically means 2.54 centimeter. You can simply remember as 2.5 centimeter. Okay, 1 inch means 2.54 centimeter. So that if you take your scale, you will find that 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, you will find 1 centimeter in your scale. You have to take two such centimeters and a 0.5 value. That much will be 1 inch. So this is 1 to 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, and 2.5 something. So that will be 1 inch. So 1 inch is pretty bigger than 1 centimeter. And similarly, there is something known as feet. Okay, so 12 inches will make 1 feet. So someone tells you what is, if someone asks you what is 2 feet, that is basically 2 times 12 inches. That is 24 inches will be 2 feet. And it keeps on going like that. And then we have the length units of kilometers and miles. That's something which commonly converts. 1 mile means 1.6, around, if I round it, 1.61, or simply take 1.6 kilometers. So 1 mile is bigger. If 1 kilometer is this much, 1 kilometer is this much, you have to add one extra 0.6 kilometer to get 1 mile. This will be 1 mile. And this is the reason why, if you see some motorsports, they would be saying that 1 to 60 in 3 seconds or something like that. So what is 60 miles? They are talking about 60 miles, 1 to 60 miles. 60 miles, let's figure out what 60 miles is. 60 into 1.6 kilometers. What is 1.6 into 60? Oh, that's around 96 kilometers. So they're basically talking about the speed. If you see any US show, they'll be telling 1 to 60 in 3 seconds or 4 seconds about supercars. That basically means that from a starting to, with full acceleration, the car will reach to 60 miles per hour in 3 seconds. But the problem is that the same show, if they are doing in India, they will not say 60 miles. They'll be saying that 1 to 100, because we are using kilometer per hour. They will be saying the same thing, but in a slightly different way, that 1 to 100 kilometer per hour. It will take, let's say, 3.15 seconds or something like that. So that is a relationship between miles and kilometer. Okay, now let me see. Centimeter. Okay, we have done tons. Density is not that much needed. I think that's it. Oh yeah, there is one thing which we actually need. That is the areas. Okay, see, we already saw that 1 hectare means 10,000 meters square. There is something more. It's like, for example, we usually, in most part of India, we use acres. 1 acre. 1 acre, if you convert in the terms of hectare, it will be 0.404 hectares. Or I can say that 1 hectare will be 2.471 acres. Basically, acre is smaller than hectare. That's all you have to remember. To get 1 hectare, we know that 1 hectare basically means 100 meter into 100 meter, and that would include 2.47 acres. That means inside that we will have 1 acre, and another 0.471 acre. So acres is actually smaller. That's all you have to remember. Now which one? Foot square, no inch. Okay, yeah, one more. The mass. Mass usually 1 kg means 1000 grams. And there is something known as pound. It's usually used again by the US people. 1 pound basically means 1 pound basically means 0.45 kgs. That basically means pound is smaller. Okay, if I take 1 kg, inside that 1 kg I will have 2.2 pounds. Okay. Okay, now what? Okay, in the question we were looking about ton, right? I told you that 1 metric ton is 1000 kg. There is something which is not commonly seen, but there is something else also. There is something known as 1 long ton and 1 short ton. 1 long ton will be slightly bigger, slightly heavier than metric ton. It is going to be it is going to be 1.016. Oh, point 1016 kgs, and 1 short ton is going to be around 800 or 900, 892 kg or 900 kg, something like that. They say different stuffs. And there is one more thing known as ounce. 1 ounce. 1 ounce is around 28 grams, 28.3 grams in fact. So 1 ounce is much more larger than gram, but much less than kg. Okay. Now what is their volume? Oh yeah, in the volume, there is something which people say about gallon. 1 gallon. This is also the unit which is used in USA. 1 gallon is basically 3.7, or I can round it to 3.78 or 3.8 liters. So 1 gallon has around 4 liters of stuff. Then we have pint. Yeah, and one more thing. Yes, 0 degree, that's a temperature, is 273 Kelvin, I guess. So if I wanted to increase, it will be 10 degree, will be 273 plus 10, 283 degree. Oh, 283 Kelvin, sorry, Kelvin. That's a unit of temperature. And that's enough. It's like there is no actual way to learn this entire chapter in a single video.